Okay, what's up, everybody? It is me yet again. I am sick as shit. I have strep throat, so I haven't been streaming. I streamed Prey earlier today. I didn't stream Lombardi League. I'll do that today. Well, yeah, today, Monday. Hopefully, I played Broncos. We'll see. Um, but I also have another franchise that I have two that y'all will see. Another one called Dicka's backyard that is gonna be. I'm the Saints in that one, so I'm playing as my favorite hometown team. And then another one that y'all will see. It's just a throwback. Yeah, it's nothing but nostalgia, really. But so basically, I'll explain it this way. This is my draft and free agency prediction. So what I think will happen in free agency. I'm not doing trades for the draft until the combine to see what standout players are going to get taken early that were going to be later. So what teams are probably going to sell the farm to get up there. But anyway, so right now we're the Bengals. We have all 32 teams. User, if you can't tell, yeah, all 32. This was rough, dude. This took about an hour or so. I messed up on a few things, but I fixed it. It's whatever. Like the Titans didn't make the playoffs, but I gave them the pick that they got. So they had the 29th pick in the draft, and whatnot. But it doesn't matter. Point is, this is going to be round one through three. Nah, one. You know what? Yeah, one through three of what I think is going to happen in the draft and free agency. So with that being said, I think Cincinnati Bengals, I think they're going to try to get better, right? So I think they're going to throw some money at Kyle Van Noy. Okay, never mind. But I think that they're going to throw money at like guys like Joe Thuney if he's available and whatnot. They're going to try to reassure up that offensive line. I think they throw him something like a 4-year deal, right? And actually, I think Andy Dalton and Tom Brady are going to be available. So I think they're going to cut Andy Dalton. It's going to free up some cap, I guess. And I think AJ Green's going to be gone, man. I don't think he's going to stay on the team. So I think those two guys are going to be available. And I think Tom Brady will be. And if y'all haven't seen that, the Raiders actually plan to throw this man a contract. By the way, I'm only an owner, so I could relocate them. I passed up the Patriots already. But so the Patriots had a downer for the season. Do I think Tom Brady's going to retire? Yes, but also no. Do I think that Tom Brady will go into free agency? Maybe. I think there's a possibility, man. So this is going to free up some stuff for them, right? And I think that if Tom Brady's truly done with them, you're probably wondering, well, what team's actually going to throw hella money at him? I think a team like the Chargers will throw money at him. Like, this is going to be a bidding war for him. Now, they have $41 million in cap room, according to Madden. So they're going to look at QBs. I think Dak Prescott might go. I'm going to put him back on the Cowboys, don't worry. I think he gets franchise tagged. But I think Tom Brady might get a 1-year deal. I think Frank Reich of the Indianapolis Colts, I think he doesn't really like Jacoby Brissett as much as anyone else, right? I don't think he really likes him. I think he'll throw money at Teddy Bridgewater or Ryan Tannehill. Maybe Marcus Mariota, who I think is gonna not do good anymore. Like, I don't think he's gonna be a factor. I think he's gonna be a solid backup QB for the rest of his career. But with that being said, the Dallas Cowboys can only afford Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott plays hardball and gets this big contract. I think the Cowboys, I think what they really need though, they need to shore up. I think they throw money. If Chris Jones actually goes into free agency, I think Cowboys will honestly, I think the Cowboys will honestly, I think they're gonna give Dak Prescott like a 2-year deal. I think they franchise him though, so we're just gonna act like they franchise him, because no one else is gonna go after Dak Prescott. I'll make sure of that. But that frees up money for him to get better. So I think Chris Jones, I think he'll get a contract offer from the Cowboys, a pretty damn big one too. I think Amari Cooper's gone. I think Kendall Fuller could get something from him. I think they would try to go after a guy like Joe Thuney, but I don't think they'll have the money to do so. So, with that being said, I think that's all the Cowboys are going to do. They don't have a lot of money. I think the only thing they could do is try to throw money. Now, this is the team that you need to watch. For the draft, they have 3 first-round picks, but they have they have a lot of cap room. And when I say they have a lot of cap room, I mean they're probably going to throw money at Chris Jones. If Chris Jones is available, they'll throw him money. I promise you that. They'll throw him a bigger offer than the Cowboys. I think they would go for Amari Cooper. They're gonna try to build a team. They're gonna try to build a team, man. And I think that they can get it. I mean, they might be able to get every single guy. I think they'll get Kareem Hunt. If a Kareem Hunt's available and the Browns don't re-sign him to have that nice 1-2 punch, I think he'll go there. I think Taco Charlton, I think they like what they have there, so I don't think they'll go there. But I think they might go Eric Armstead. If Eric Armstead's also available, coming off of another team from the Super Bowl, I think they'll give him money. I really think that if you're gonna look at the NFL, the team you need to watch for the most signings is 100% going to be this team. Straight up, just straight up. It's gonna be, it's gotta be this team. I think they go after Clinton Dix and they move on from Rashad Jones in a trade, probably on draft night, trading him to a team trying to move up. And I think they go after Levi Wallace, maybe Mackenzie Alexander. I think they go maybe after Zach Pascal or even Nelson Aguilar. I think Von Bell actually might get re-signed by the Saints. I'm not sure, but we're just gonna say they go. We're gonna say they stay with the team that they have right now. I don't think they'll go for a quarterback, but I do think they'll look at offensive line. So why not look at Kichi for 1 year? Now they literally spent all their money to improve this team, which is what you do, right? But anyway, we're gonna go to the Bears. I think the Bears are gonna try to get Kendall Fuller back, 100%. But I don't think they have cap. Yeah, they're negative, so I don't think they can afford. They're not gonna get him back. So the Bears are in a bad spot right now. They can't sign anybody. I think. Now this is the team that's gonna be very interesting. Buffalo Bills. They have a lot of cap room, man. They can make something happen. And with that being said, I think they outbid. I think they get Amari Cooper. If Amari Cooper's available, I think they get him. I think that they really like to go after a guy like Eric Armstead, but I think they go after a guy like Yannick Ngakoue. If Yannick Ngakoue is there, I think they go after him, 100%. I think if a guy like AJ Green's there, they might go after him, but they might like what John Brown's doing. I think that they really don't need much. I think they're a few wide receivers away and some offensive line help. So with that being said, with the offensive line part, I think they would look for a cheap alternative. I think they could go Tyler Eifert, which is what I'm about to do for him. I think they go Tyler Eifert. I think they give him a 2-year deal, 12 mil. I think he's gonna go there. You know, these are all speculation of what I think's gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen. Like, let's just be honest here. This shit's not happening. But I do think that they will sign some more depth players. So with that being said, they'll probably sign someone like Bobby Calhoun and whatnot, just for depth, just to have a better defense than they did last year, right? I think they'll sign a guy like Kyler Frackle? Yeah, whatever. They'll sign a guy like him, play right outside linebacker for him. I think, but outside of that, I think they might sign Marshawn Lynch just to be that third down running back and stuff like that. And, you know, they have a quarterback, they have a good team. I think that they're perfectly fine. I think they spend the money that they need to spend for players. And I think that's what they do now. The Denver Broncos and Vic Fangio, I don't know if he's still the head coach. It's possible. I don't know what they're going to do. Chris Harris is rumored he wants to leave, but that raises the question: do you go after Kendall Fuller? And I think you do. I think you have to reassure your defense. That's what won you that championship all those years ago. That's what's probably going to win you this championship if you can get there. I mean, I like what you're doing. I think you go after AJ Green too. I think you're stupid if you don't go after AJ Green, no matter what you offer him. Yeah, I think you're stupid if you don't go after AJ Green. I think those are the two guys you go after. I think you go after the one of the best players in Kendall Fuller that's going to be available. Now the Browns, they don't have cap, I don't believe. They might have a little cap, but they're not going to have enough. They have 13 mil. That's enough to sign some help on the offensive line, and that's exactly what they're going to do. You need to really fix your offensive line, no matter where it is. I mean, you gotta get better at offense, right? And that's just what it is. So I think they might look at a left tackle. They might, but I don't think they will. I think they like their defense. I think they like it a lot, more than they should, really. So let's say they throw money. I think they feel like they could get a franchise right tackle or left tackle in the draft. So I think they're going to throw money at Kyle Van Noy if he is available. Okay. Okay, maybe not, because remember, I think then the Matthew Judon makes more sense. It's a cheaper option. So I think they throw money at some like these guys here around here. So Matthew Judon gets a contract. So that's all the Browns are going to do this year, right? And they might make some trades. Now, this is the team that is interesting. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, do they want to move on from Jameis? I don't think they will, but they do have cap room. And when you have cap room, you usually can make a lot of things happen. Now, what was the big story about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Their defense, right? Shockingly, it was good run defense. So let's say they're going to go after guys like Kyle Van Noy. I think they go after a guy that can get to the quarterback. So let's say a Dante Fowler Jr. and put him at end, or put Shaquille Barrett at end. One of those, right? And I think they sure up. I don't think they, not Mike Hilton. I think they sure up their corners. I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna sure up their corners. Actually, their DB room by signing a guy like Anthony Harris, 5 years out of Virginia. That's if he goes, of course. And then they're gonna put an offer in for Levi Wallace. Makes this defense a force to be reckoned with. And then in the draft, we'll see what they do. They either will go quarterback, or they will either do something else. Now, the Cardinals have a lot of problems, but they have a lot of cap room to fix these problems, not to mention draft. So, they don't have a good DT. So, do I think they'll throw money at Chris Jones? Yeah, I think they do. I think anyone that has DT problems will throw money at Chris Jones. I think they throw money at Amari Cooper. I think anyone that has wide receiver problems will throw money at him. I don't know if they're going to throw money at Kendall Fuller, but I definitely think that they will throw money at Eric Armstead. So right off the bat, they're not going after offensive linemen. So that's why I'm saying that they're probably not gonna throw money. I don't think they can outbid the other people ahead of them for defense, but I do think they can outbid the Bengals for Joe Thuney. So they're gonna throw money at Joe Thuney probably. I wouldn't be mad if they did. They need to shore up that offensive line. I think they might go after. I think they might throw some money at a guy like Jerron Hargrave just to shore up some DT. You know, you need to get DTs. You need to, right? I think they're gonna look at guys like Corey Littleton to survey the field in the middle of the field. They like to play a 3-4. I think they might throw a little offer to Mackenzie Alexander just to get some more corner depth. I think they might throw an offer at Zach Pascal, a good receiver that is cheaper than the alternatives, right? They might go after Von Bell. I think Von Bell might actually go here, so that's where I'm gonna give him an offer from. I think he proved his worth last year, and I think they throw some money at Shaq Lawson. Why? Because they don't have a good right end, so why not get a good right end? And then, you know, you throw money at Kalichi Osamilani, or whatever his name is. You know, like he's gonna be a left guard. He's not gonna be great for any mean, but I think that's what you do. You just throw money at players that you need to get. And then, okay, so the Chargers, they don't have a quarterback right now. Philip Rivers is not supposed to be on this team. He's gone, and I think that's going to be a huge. If he retired, that's unfortunate, but I think that's going to be a huge thing. That's going to be a huge story. That's going to be huge where he goes. But if I am I'm re-signing. I'm re-signing Austin Eckler. He's been the guy. I think that's where I focus my money right now is Austin Eckler. I don't think you go after anyone else. Unless you want to go for a QB, then you go after a Ryan Tannehill. You go after a Teddy Bridgewater. Just go after someone that you know. Well, yeah, that's right. They are going after Tom Brady, so we're gonna say they throw some money at Tom Brady. That's where their cap goes. I completely forgot I did that. Now the Chiefs. What can the Chiefs do? You know, they just came off of a Super Bowl win. They got 10 million cap room. There's no way that they can get back Chris Jones at that rate. Right, unless they franchise him. He's probably not going to play if you franchise him. Well, I'll tell you what you do. Simple. You shore up positions in need. I mean, it's pretty simple. So, they need offensive line help. Well, you go after a center. Maybe Secruta. I mean, Algoretti wasn't bad and Ryder wasn't bad, but do you really want them to be your franchise center? No. So you go after a guy like Max Scruta, a young option, good player. He's not bad. You just throw some money at him, you know, and then you're pretty good everywhere else besides now DT and a little bit of left end. So why not just throw some money at Vic Beasley Jr.? I mean, he's a cheaper option than what anything else would be, and you could probably get him, and then that immediately improves your defense yet again, which is the biggest thing that y'all been needing to do. Now the Colts. What are the Colts gonna do? The Colts have I would say the Colts have an interesting storyline right now. They have 28 million cap room, and they have no real chance of being good next year unless they make the right decisions. Those right decisions are trying to steal players. I think they're good everywhere but where they need to be, right? And that you know, that's like a stupid statement to make. But I think they go after Corey Littleton. They like to play a 3-4 down there. I think they throw money at Corey. I think they try to get Nelson Aguilar to have a third option for Jacoby Brissett. For Jacoby Brissett. But here's the thing. I think they throw money. I think they throw a nice little offer at Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's going to be one of the quarterbacks that's going to be making money this year. He went 5-0 with the Saints. And, you know, so we already did with the Dolphins. Dolphins literally spent every dime. So what are the Eagles going to do? Well, they need to sign wide receivers. Or corners. It really depends on what you think they need to do. But they don't have cap. So we're just going to look at positions in need. Well, they need a running back, but they can't afford one. They need wide receivers, they can't get one. They don't need tight ends. They need a left tackle. They need a left guard. They need everything on the left side. They don't really need much on the defense besides maybe some linebackers. So, you know, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put in a bid for Bud Dupree for him. We're gonna say that hey, they like what he's doing. They like how he plays. So we're gonna say we throw a little money at him. That's what I think the Eagles are going to do. I think they go after linebackers and or corners, even though they have limited cap room. So with that being said, what are the Falcons going to do? You know? Well, I think that the Falcons, they got 20 mil almost. I think that they're going to really look for future. When I say future, I think they look for developmental players. Players that are going to shore up their team. So players like Kendrick Bourne, give him another wide receiver, and I think that's the move for him. I think Kendrick Bourne is a wide receiver that can help Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones be a nice slot option, maybe even David Moore, who's a fast guy. I think they like Ololokun a little much, but I think they go after a guy like Trey Waynes, try to shore up that secondary that was very hot cold for him. I think that's what they do. And I think now here's the team that's interesting. Young team, very good team. 20 mil capper. What do? Well, they throw money at guys like Kendall Fuller. Why do you throw money at Kendall Fuller? Because you want to be dominant, and if you have money to be dominant, then you be dominant. So I think it's gonna be a bidding war between the Broncos and the Niners, but I think the Niners might actually get him, and I don't think they'll sign anyone else outside of that. I think they're good on wide receivers. I think they like their wide receiving room. But now here's the team that is interesting: the Giants. 52 million in cap room. They can literally sign anyone they want. So what do? Do they get in a bidding war for Kendall Fuller? Do they go after Kareem Hunt, get a number 2? Well, I think they like Wayne Gallman a lot. Do they go after Eric Armstead? Do they go after Yannick Ngakoue? Do they go after a Joe Thuney? Do they go after AJ Green? I think they put a little money in for AJ Green. I think you need a wide receiver for Daniel Jones, and who better than AJ Green? A very solid guy. Do they go? I don't know if Ryan Shazier is actually going to play, but if he, whatever, we're not going to give him an offer. And I really think that you get a defensive tackle. Danny Shelton. We're just going to put some money in for Danny Shelton. You have all this cap room. There's so much you can do. I think you throw money at a guy like Anthony Harris. But I think they won't, because I think they're going to save that pick for the draft. Right? So I think they go after a guy like Ndamukong Suh maybe, but I don't think they will, right? I think they'll put money in, but I don't think they'll get him, is what I'm saying. Go after a guy like Darren Lee, go after a guy like Tim Jerrigan, which I think they do. Why not get another guy? And then you save your cap, you don't really offer anyone else. Actually, you go after a guy like Nick Kikowski, who hasn't really got a chance to play much in the NFL, but you take that risk. That's the risk you're going to take. Because you, as a franchise, need linebackers, and you're probably not going to get Isaiah Simmons, so why not now? Now, this is a team that doesn't really have cap room. It doesn't. And we're not going to do anything with -10. Now, the Jets, they have some cap room, and I think Robbie Anderson's going to be in free agency. Not quite sure. But with 34 million, what do I think the New York Jets are going to do? Simple. Throw that offensive line. I mean, you can't win in today's NFL without an offensive line. You can't. So I think they throw money at Scruta. I think that it's going to be a bidding war between two teams on that case, but I really do think that the Chiefs are going to be fine without it. I think you go after some wide receivers. So with that being said, I think they throw money at Amari Cooper. I think if Sam Darnold's going to be the best player in the draft. So you're already in a bidding war with 3 of your divisional rivals. So this is an AFC East slugfest right now. But that's where Robbie Anderson comes in. Because I don't think he's going to be on the Jets next year. I think he's going to demand a trade, or, worse, get released, right? So I don't think he's going to be back on the team. So Robbie Anderson's now going to be a thing. So head coach of the Detroit Lions, Matt Patricia, what are you going to do, man? Yeah, 17 mil. What can you do? I think they literally do absolutely nothing. With that being said, I think they just throw money at who they think's going to be good, not who is guaranteed good. I just think they throw some money at like Emmanuel Sanders and have like the oldest wide receiving room in the NFL, and then they do nothing else. Not to mention that it's not guaranteed that what's his name, Matthew Stafford will even play again. So I think they're going to look at stuff like that, and they're going to be cautious, rightfully so. So what is the Packers going to do? Nothing. I'll tell you right now, the Packers have cap room, but if the Packers are smart, they're going to keep their cap room. Now the Panthers, what are the Panthers going to do coming off a very disappointing season? And matter of fact, let me make sure this is a thing. Yeah, I turned off tutorial. God damn. Let me make sure Luke Kuechly retires. With that being said, uh, yeah. So you lose your best player, uh, probably one of the best players of all time, and Luke Kuechly, and we're just gonna make him a punter. 21 left, and we're gonna say he went to Bowling Green State. We're gonna make him 5. We're gonna make him 5. We're gonna make him 40. And that cat won't shut up. I'm about to come out there and kick it across the house. So there. Luke Kuechly now is no longer in the NFL, so there's no reason for him to even be even thought of. So we're gonna release him. But what do you do? What do you do? Do you go after linebackers? Yeah. But you only have 4 mil, so you probably can only get like a okay, decent role player type guy like Danny Trevathan. Or I think they throw money at Blake Martinez. I think if Blake Martinez is available, they'll throw some money at him. I think they'll like him coming out of Stanford. He's a smart player, kind of like So I think that's what they do, especially since he's gone now. So what are the Patriots gonna do? You just lost your franchise quarterback. Simple. You throw money at Teddy Bridgewater. Now, a lot of people are like, "What? Really? Teddy Bridgewater?" Yeah. I think this is where it goes. Why wouldn't you go? Why wouldn't you go to literally a built team? Okay, game. Stop playing with me. Yeah. Why wouldn't you go to one of the best teams in the history of the game? Why wouldn't you? I mean, they have a defense already. They have a decent offense. Like, it's like playing with the Saints, just with a better defense instead of offense. So what are the Raiders gonna do? Simple. The Raiders are gonna do literally nothing. Like, dude, the Raiders, they don't like to spend. And that's something that I've seen a lot of problems over the years. They spend on players that aren't that good, or they'll spend on players that just aren't, or like they'll spend money on Ndamukong Suh. Like, I guarantee you they'll spend money on Ndamukong Suh. I guarantee you they'll probably throw Ryan Tannehill a contract. I guarantee you they'll probably throw a guy like David. That they'll probably get. David Moore's a good player. I mean, but not worth what he's gonna get from the. I think Darren Lee, because the Raider way. They like to throw money at people, and they're moving to Las Vegas, so they're trying to get players. So what is the Rams going to do? I don't think the Rams can do anything. I don't think they will. I think they're going to focus on trying to re-sign players next year. Ravens, same thing. I think they're just going to refocus, try to re-sign players, even though they have some cap space. I think they're going to focus more on rebuilding through the draft than anything. I don't think they'll spend money. And this is a thing that a lot of teams do. They don't spend money much, and it pisses fans off. But you have to understand why they do that. So, with that being said, what do I think? What do I think that the Washington Redskins are going to do? Throw money at a guy like Lamar Miller. They're not truly confident in Darius Geis. Throw money, not Danny Shelton, at a guy that can play on the inside. So they might go after a Shaq Lawson and move him to DT. Like, I've seen some crazy damn things happen, but I don't think they're gonna do anything at all. Anything. I really just don't. So what are the Saints gonna do? This is my favorite team. There's no bias in this situation. But what do I think the Saints are going to do? I think they're going to throw some money. Not a lot of money. They got 34 mil. They most likely don't have a quarterback. So what do I think they do? I think they sign nobody at quarterback. Why? Because they believe in Taysom Hill. But I do think they throw some money at Robbie Anderson. I think that is your Ted type player. I think that's what made the Saints team a few years ago very good, was a fast wide receiver. And then I think outside of that, you just look at middle linebackers, you look at right outside and left outside linebackers, and I think if Camus, Gruger, Hill is there, the Saints will throw money at them. and then the Saints aren't going to spend money after that. Because it's the New Orleans Saints, they don't spend money, dude. Why do you think they're so good at re-signing players for $100 million contracts? They don't spend money. So are the I think right now the biggest focus for the yeah, this is most definitely going to be the biggest focus in free agency for them. It's gonna be this. So I think they get a guy like Kalichi. I think they're gonna give him money. I think that's who he signs for. They don't really need a center, but they don't really need this either. But I do think they'll throw money at Jermaine Afidi, and maybe DeMar Dotson, just to move DeMar Dotson to the left, because they really need tackles. I don't think they, and this is the thing, they don't like drafting them. So what are the Steelers gonna do? I think the Steelers are perfectly fine with their team, but with $6 million in cap room, y'all are gonna scratch your head at this. I think they signed Ryan Tannehill, man. I don't know what it is, but I just really think that they get Ryan Tannehill. It seems like a perfect Steeler quarterback, you know? Like, just one of those gritty, tall, sort of mobile guys like Big Ben that has a good arm. And what do I think the Texans are going to do? Hold up, 1 second. Nugget, where you want? Apologies, but I don't think they're gonna do anything. I just know this team, they don't like to spend money in free agency. So, but the Tennessee Titans now, this one's big. Why? Tennessee Titans have some holes, right? But they don't have big holes. They don't have holes that are literally insane. So why not get a former New England Patriot from a former Patriot linebacker? He's probably gonna go after. I think that's all they do. I think they're more focused on the draft right now. And the Vikings. What are the Vikings gonna do with $2 million cap room? You guessed it. Nothing. With that being said, let's get into the 3-round draft. Well, let's make sure these players signed. So, it's taking a minute, but yeah, give it a minute. Yeah, that's about right. I think they'll throw money at Aaron Lynch if Aaron Lynch is available. The Bengals, yeah. So, yeah. What are still available? See who signed. Kenneth Fuller actually chose the Broncos over the Niners. That's cool. Kyle Van Noy over the Titans. Wow. AJ Green, Robbie Anderson, Judon. So does that mean... Okay, so all three of these guys signed. So does that... Yeah, Dak Prescott's still not fucking with it. Yeah, Dak is not wanting to go to Dallas with that contract, boy. I don't blame him. Anyway, let's get into this draft, man. It's 2:32 in the morning. We're gonna view free agency recap. Dak Prescott literally will not sign. That's whatever. We'll get that later. But we're gonna start the draft. No questions here. Oh my God, Nugget. And with the first overall pick in the draft, Joe Burrow. I'm about to go fucking kill this thing. I'll be right back. Alright, got another piece of bread, my bad. Anyway, Joe Burrow, Heisman winner, best quarterback in the draft, arguably. So, that raises the question. Let me pause the draft, actually. What would they do? What would Washington do? I think they take Jeffrey Okudah. Why? They have no corners. So now that leaves the question, what is Detroit gonna do? I don't know. I think they go, maybe. I think they get Chase Young. But, if Chase Young is there, I think he's getting taken. But I think the opportunity to draft Derek Brown is also there, and Isaiah Simmons. So I think they go Chase Young. They need a right end, kinda. Why not take him? So that leaves the Panthers. What are the Carolina Panthers gonna do? Simple. Pretty simple what they're gonna do. They either draft on the inside or take Isaiah Simmons. I mean, if he's there, take him, right? It's not fucking rocket science on that one. I'm not going to go into in depth on the first few picks. So that leaves the Giants. What are the Giants going to do? Well, they have an okay quarterback. They have no offensive line, though. I think Jedrick Willis is the pick out of Alabama. Freak of nature. I'm playing. He's not really that freak of a nature, but it's whatever. Now the Dolphins are rumored to take Tua Tagovailoa here. I think they don't take Tua until later. I think Tua's gonna slip for not being able to throw at his pro day and combine. So what do? Andrew Thomas, you get a replacement for your left tackle you traded earlier in the season. It doesn't matter, right? Well, now what do you do if you're the Chargers? You got Tom Brady at quarterback. So now what do you do? Well, the only one thing you can do, you draft Derek Brown. I mean, you drafted a bust last year with dude out of Notre Dame. So that leaves the Cardinals. Cardinals have an opportunity to draft anyone they want. Jerry Jeudy, this and that, you know. I think they take Tristan Wirfs. Why? Because they need offensive line. This was the worst offensive line in the NFL last year, I believe, and it's not going to get better. So what are the Browns going to do? I know the order's not in the like direct order, but it doesn't matter. Point still resides. Well, if you look at this team, left tackle is their biggest need, no matter what you look at. So I think they get a guy like Becton. I feel like that's going to be a good pick for him in the long run. So I don't know. I don't really know much about him. I haven't watched him play. I don't watch Louisville. So this is where it gets interesting. What would a team with basically a kid in the candy store type thing here, where do they go? I'm not sure, man. I mean, do you go Tyler Biadasz or Biadasz? Do you go defense, which is something that y'all draft a lot? I think they go corner. And I think they draft Christian Fulton. I think they need someone like him, a good slot. I think that's just what they do, man. Now, the Raiders. What are the Raiders going to do, man? The Raiders just seen their corner go off. That's probably the corner they want. So I say they take Jerry Jeudy. It's so crying Jerry Jeudy slipped outside the top 10. But that's how these things go when a lot of teams need offensive line and defense. Now the Jets are in a predicament because their player that they wanted just got taken off the board. So what are the New York Jets going to do? Well, they get the second best wide receiver in the draft. Simple. You get him and you let him learn under AJ Green. I think that's where I put him. Can't remember. Oops. But you get CeeDee Lamb, the best rack receiver in the draft. Now, what are Tampa Bay going to do? Tampa Bay could draft Tua. Tampa Bay could draft Justin Herbert. That's what they're going to do. They're going to draft a quarterback. They're going to get Justin Herbert. I think if anyone needs to draft a quarterback, it's got to be Tampa, man. It's got to be. So what is Atlanta going to do? They got to go defensive line. I think they're stupid if they don't go AJ Epineza here. I hope they're stupid because they're the, you know, I mean, you could go Javion Kinlaw, you could go Grant Delpit, but I think you just can't pass up a guy like AJ Epineza. I think that's the pick, and I think that's what they go. Plain as that. So now this adds, what are the Denver Broncos going to do? The Broncos need help on multiple fronts of the ball. I think wide receiver is not that big of a deal for him. Now, I do think DT is a problem for him. So let's just get Javon Kinlaw here. I mean, a guy who surged up the charts this year. Wasn't supposed to be a first round pick. I don't think he was supposed to be a pick at all. But this is where Tua Tagovailoa goes to the Miami Dolphins, and he is gonna be playing his football in Miami. So Indianapolis Colts probably were hoping that Tua didn't go. probably try to make a trade, but that's for another video. Let's see what happens. What are they gonna do? They need a quarterback. They're okay on the defense. They're not exactly spectacular. They could go for a wide receiver, maybe. They'd go for some offensive linemen. Well, I'll tell you what they're gonna do, my friend. K'Lavon Chaisson out of LSU goes here. Had a sick year. But now, Dallas. What is Dallas going to do? What could Dallas do in this draft? Well, they can draft a lot of things. You just lost Amari Cooper to the Bills. You go Laviska Shenault or Henry Ruggs. Shit, Grant Delpit's available. And I think Grant Delpit's the guy. They need safety badly. Dude, it's so bad how bad they need safety. So now the Raiders are back on the clock. And the Raiders are probably licking their lips right here. Why? Because the Raider way is still in full swing. Speed, 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 and speed. Henry Ruggs. But that's for another time for them, I guess they're gonna say. I think they're gonna go to Trayvon Diggs, University of Alabama cornerback, and I think that's going to be their corner that sets them for a few years. Now, what is the Rams going to do? The Rams need linebackers. The Rams are probably going to go Kenneth Murray if I was a betting man. I don't think they're going to be sold on Patrick Queen. But they might go Patrick Queen. They might go C.J. Henderson. They might go a few things. They might even go Lloyd Cushenberry. But I think Kenneth Murray is the pick for him. Reason why is because I think that they're going to fall in love with his athletic standpoints and what he's able to do. Now, the Eagles, this is where y'all have fun. You'll get a wide receiver. You're going to get basically what I think is going to be Nelson Aguilar 2.0, but with better hands. With that being said, you're going to get Henry Ruggs. I think everyone can agree with me on this. He's fast. He's just fast. But that leaves the Bills. What are the Bills going to do, man? If I was the Bills, I'm going to be looking at offensive linemen. And if I am the Bills, I'm going to be looking at tight end also. So I think Bryce Hopkins is going to be the first tight end to go off the board here. And I think he's going to go to the Buffalo Bills. And I think it's going to be a very good pick. You got to get some other guys there, man. You got to get some guys. So why not draft one of the best tight ends in the draft? So you just lost your quarterback. You get Teddy Bridgewater, and you're now looking down the hole of abyss, right? You just lost your left guard, so that's what we're gonna draft here. We're gonna draft the best left guard in the class, Lloyd Cushenberry III out of LSU, one of the best left guards in the draft, and he is a stud. He is a stud. And now my team, the Saints, need to pick linebacker. Now hear me out when I say that we need to pick linebacker. A lot of people say we're going to pick C.J. Henderson. No, we don't need to get a quarterback. We don't need to get this. We don't need to get that. We need to draft Patrick Queen out of LSU. He's better. He's probably more freakishly gifted and better than Devin White, Deion Jones, and those guys are going to be dogs. And Quan Alexander, we passed on all three. Well, besides Devin White. We passed on Quan Alexander. We passed on Deion Jones. They could have been Saints. So you get Patrick Queen. So now, Nugget, please. So now what? There's no hiding it. Trayvon Diggs is poo. He just is. So draft Noah Mbagwene. I think they're gonna fall in love with him at the combine. I think he's freakishly gifted. I think he's pretty good. So now that leaves the Seattle Seahawks. What do I think the Seahawks are gonna do, man? What do I think Seattle's gonna do? I don't think they're gonna spend this pick on anything significant, but I think this is where we see DeAndre Swift go. I think, they have a good running back room there, right? But the reason why I'm saying they're going to DeAndre Swift is because you look at their offense. They have good players. Chris Carson and Rashad Penny's been a bust. I don't want to hear anyone else tell me anything else. But I think Chris Carson is going to be the pick. I mean, they could go wide receiver. And they definitely need offensive line, but it doesn't matter. I think that's what they do. And that's just what it is. Now Miami, for their third and final pick of the draft, this one's kind of interesting. I think they might go Justin Jefferson, LSU. That's just who I think they're going to go. I think they're going to like Laviska Shenault, but I think Justin Jefferson, to them, is going to be a better prospect in the end because of his route running, because of his explosiveness. And that's going to lead the Baltimore Ravens to get the best player left on the board, Laviska Shenault, out of Colorado. And I'm not doing this because I'm not a Ravens fan or anything. The Saints probably will take Laviska Shenault. But that's who I think they're going to take. I think they need more wide receivers. Marquise Brown, get your good number two, get your actual number one, really. Laviska Shenault's a Julio Jones type guy. Just is. The Titans, what are the Titans going to do? That's what everyone's probably wondering. I think they might be more boring this year in the draft. With that being said, I think they take a guy like Raekwon Davis out of Alabama, supposed to be a top 10 pick last year. This year he won't be. He'll be lucky to be in the top 10. But anyway, what is Green Bay going to do? They're going to select best player available. And that's not going to be a running back, although the running back are best player available right now. They're going to select Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State, slot wide receiver, and they're going to fall in love with him. Reason why I say they're going to fall in love with him is because they're going to love what he is able to bring to that offense that needs help. So with that being said, what is the San Francisco 49ers going to do? They're going to draft you Turk Gross-Matos. They just lost their they lost their guy. Fuck, I forget his name. Eric Armstead. So why not draft you Turk Gross-Matos, who should be a first rounder in my opinion? Who probably will, him and Curtis Reaver. But now, what are the Kansas City Chiefs going to do? Well, they're probably going to go with a similar pick, except they're not. Sorry if you're a Chiefs fan. I don't think you're going to draft edge at all this draft, unless it's later round. But I do think you're going to draft C.J. Henderson out of Florida, one of the best and strongest corners. The game froze, so that's cool. The game froze. The game fucking froze. I can't make this shit up. The game froze. Oh boy, Madden is a great game, ain't it, guys? Wow. Well, I guess it's only going to be a first round. It doesn't matter about the second round. But, so C.J. Henderson's the final pick of the first round. That's all, guys. Sorry this happened. Can't do nothing about it, but alright, hope y'all enjoyed. See ya.